Let's create a fun art journal page together in this collaborative art journal. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So at the end of the Art Journal Festival I recently attended here in Vienna, one of the participants suggested we make an art journal in which each participant creates one page. If you want to know more about my experience and transformation at this festival, please check the video link below in the description box. So I'm the third participant to receive this beautiful accordion-style journal, which was made by Ursula Hammerschik, whose Instagram I will link below for you. Ursula is also from Vienna, and she's an abstract expressionist artist. And if you would like to follow the journey of this journal and see everybody's entries, you can follow the hashtag AJCollabJournal on Instagram. I also would like to show you how this was constructed, because maybe this is something you would like to try as well. I just love how Ursula made this. It's so cute. So there's two pieces of cardboard holding the journal together, and it's actually in there loosely, so we can actually take the whole journal out. But I love this cover. So you see, the journal is not attached. I don't know if it will be attached at a later point. But this here is the construction of the cover. So there's two pieces of cardboard, which are the same size, and they each have 4 slits here where Ursula threaded the ribbon through. So from the outside they go in here, then they go out again, in the second one, through here and out again. And so this way you can tie them together at these two ends. And the cool thing about this is that it can actually grow with the journal, because of course this is going to expand if the journal expands. So that is so clever. So we're going to set this aside because I don't want to be the first one to make this dirty. And this is the actual journal. So it's like an accordion style or concertina style, whatever you want to call it. So it's like this. And you can completely take it apart like that. And what Ursula has done is she just glued pages together, so they're always overlapping that much. And then obviously she creased the end of it so that it folds nicely. So that's super fun. So if we open this up, I actually need to cover the first page because that's a list of all the participants with names and addresses. I don't want to share that. So here we find some guidelines for working in this journal. So these are in German. So number 1 is the pages are numbered. Please only work on your page. Number 2, let a little bit of your art go on to the next page so that the next person can either continue working with that or cover it up completely. I think that is such a cute idea. So there's like a thread going through the whole journal. Number 3 is everything is allowed, but please be careful of the pages of the other participants, of course. Number 4 is please keep in mind the thickness of the journal. It should be able to send by normal mail even at the end of the journey. Write your name and date on your page when you're done. Important, post photos with the hashtag that I told you before, AJF Collab Journal. Maybe I said that wrong before. Maybe I only said AJ, but whatever you see on the screen at the beginning when I said that is the right one. Number 7 is, most importantly, the journal needs to be passed on within the time frame that is given, or even better is to have an artist date with the next participant on the list and hand the journal over personally. I love that part. Those are the guidelines, and let me show you the first 2 pages. I have permission from the first 2 artists who created their pages to show these pages to you. So all the participants that live in Vienna get the journal first, and then it will travel to Germany, and each participant gets the journal for 2 weeks. And I'm actually not sure what happens with the journal at the end. I'm sure it was discussed at the festival, but I was probably not paying attention. So let me share Ursula's page. So Ursula was the one that made the first page because she also created the journal. Lots of texture, which of course you cannot feel. Lots of layering and yummy things happening here. There's thread. So the part that she took over to the next page were the threads. And so this is the second page. This one was created by Sonal, who also lives in Vienna. And Sonal is known for her expressive florals and dreamy landscapes. So Sonal handed me this journal personally, and I got to chat with her a bit, which was really great because we didn't really get a chance to talk much at the festival because we were sitting in different areas of the room. And we exchanged our Instagram names, and I was in shock when I saw that Sonal has more than 100,000 followers on Instagram. You rock, Sonal. I will link her Instagram also below for you so you can check it out. So here you see the threads that came over from Ursula's page and how Sonal integrated those in hers. And Sonal had this yellow spill over to my page. I'm so happy this is the color that she chose, because if it would have been like this green, I would have had a much harder time. But this is exactly my yellow, so thank you again, Sonal, if you're watching me. So to help me get started with my page, I thought I would pull out Meg's Junk Journal July prompt list. So you can see that here on my screen now. If you have never heard of Junk Journal July, it's a fun collaboration Meg from Meg Journals hosts twice a year, once for Junk Journal January and once for Junk Journal July. So she always organizes a collaboration to kickstart the month, and I'm happy to have been part of that for a few times now. So you can find the playlist of all the fabulous contributions linked below in case you missed that. So as it's July 15th when I'm posting this video, let's try the prompt for that day, which is texture. So I want to add some texture to my page. So now I already have two things to go by. I have this yellow and I want to add some texture. Another element I decided I want to add on this page is some Chinese script. I absolutely adore the Chinese characters or Japanese characters or Korean characters. Any of those are beautiful. And the reason why I wanted to do that, besides the fact that I love them, is that I was lucky enough to receive these beautiful pages from another one of the participants from the festival, who was Petra. So these are absolutely gorgeous. Look, I mean, this is absolutely amazing, isn't it? I don't think that I'm going to use this here, but I'm actually not sure. I definitely want to use some of this. This is actually Korean. I can tell that. I guess the rest is Chinese, but this is also Korean, I'm pretty sure. This looks very, very old, also Korean. Maybe most of this is actually Korean. Don't know about this one though. In any case, it's Asian. I love it. And because I'm thinking of an Asian theme, I actually wanted to add a transfer. So I went to the Pixabay website to search for a portrait of an Asian female. So for my jelly plate transfer, I referred to a video by Froil from Froil Art, which I will link for you below as well. And I tried her method off camera first to see if it would work at all, and it was an epic fail. I don't know why. I did everything I think that she said. The only thing I could imagine that went wrong is maybe that the paper I printed on was not the right paper. The other thing that could have influenced it is that maybe the quality of the paint I was using was not high quality enough or something. Otherwise, I don't know what happened. So I downloaded these two absolutely stunning images from Pixabay, and I have these linked for you below on the Pixabay website, so you can download them as well. They are free and they are in color when you see them on the website, and I followed Forel's instructions to change them to black and white and to make the contrast a little higher, and I think these images are perfect for the jelly plate transfer. And I went to a copy shop, had them printed on a laser printer, here. Just like she suggested, even though they are black and white images, you should print them as a color print, which I did. And yet they totally did not work. Maybe I should have just had them printed on regular copy paper, because I think in her video, she does not state what paper she printed them on. So I printed these on high quality 160 GSM silk matte paper, and maybe that's the problem. That's my best guess. So what happened was that I had the color on the plate and the color transferred onto the photo. But the photo print didn't transfer onto the image. So I got this, which actually looks pretty cool, I thought. And then I went over it again with another color. This image is so gorgeous. I would be happy to use this as it is as well. Also in color, it's absolutely gorgeous. It has beautiful reds in it. But I wanted to, of course, be a bit more artsy. I mean, using this as it is could make a beautiful vintage page, but I wanted it to fit kind of in this art journal style. So I will try to do something similar like this again, so that you can see what I did, in case you want an artsy print as well, instead of an actual transfer. So the color I used was from De La Rowney. It's the Phthalo Turquoise. And hopefully I can still get the last bits out of here. And let's sprayer that. I want a very thin coat. Since I know I'm not making an actual transfer, I'm actually making the coat even thinner than I would for a transfer. Okay, now I'm just going to place this on here, and then I'm going to take another paper and just rub this like I would if I was actually making a transfer. It makes me so sad because I really wanted a transfer. So let's see. Oh, that looks awesome. That's even better than the first one. I mean, they're both cool. They both look very different. If you just look at the turquoise now, I mean, I like both versions, honestly, but this looks very cool as well. So now I also want to add some of the yellow. I don't think I will be able to place the whole image in the journal because I think it's a bit too long. So I will probably cut it into a square. So I want some of the yellow showing on here, but I don't think I want it as far as her lips. So I'm just taking some very cheap craft paint. And I'll press this stencil on it. And then I'll place this on it so that it just goes up to her neck. Oh yeah, that looks cool. I am super happy with this. So we have our beautiful print. Actually, the size would work, but I still think I'm going to cut it down. It does seem a bit big for this size of page. Please don't let me forget that I need something to go over to the next page. I have no idea yet what that will be because I have no idea yet what I'm going to do. But I think the first thing is that I'm just going to cut her down. Next, I think I want to add some of these in various sizes. So maybe I'll start off with this one. Or maybe this is the one thing that could go over to the next side. So I'm going to tear this row. And I could just glue that so this last character then goes over the page. Yeah, I like that. Then I can take some of this here. Maybe let's turn that. Okay, I want a bit more of that here. Then we have these. And instead of tearing a row like this, because I want it to go down, I think right here, I don't want these to be sideways for some reason, even though this is sideways. I don't know. I just don't want it for this large font. So I think I'll just tear down right there. No, not happy with that. Maybe I do need to turn it. And maybe another piece of this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all of these bits down. I just opened this new jar of matte gel from Liquitex. This is the first time I'm trying this. And it had some gold foil on top. Look at that. If you know me, you know I love gold foil. So maybe we'll have to do something with that for this page. Let's keep that in mind. I can already tell you this is an awesome matte gel. If you are not happy with whatever you have or you're not used to using matte gel, this one is amazing. I have another one from Liquitex which has a green color. Actually, I have it right here. This one, and this is much, much thinner. This is called matte medium and this is called matte gel. And I much prefer the matte gel. Thank you so much, Louisa. That was a tip from her. So now I don't remember. How was this? I seriously don't remember how I had this. Okay, so I've dried this with my heat gun. I've also attached this here for the next participant. So I don't want to put this down yet because I want to add some more layers here. I do have this here, which is just one of those white plies from a napkin. And this is a print from a jelly plate. And I want to add some of this in the background as well. So I'm going to tear around this pattern. And then we can just kind of, how do we want this? How about like that? The cool thing is if you add your jelly plate prints to napkins, the white part then disappears once you glue it down, and I think that looks so cool. It is so cool for layering in collages. Look at it, that is just the coolest thing. Look how beautifully that blends in, and you can still see the beautiful script underneath. Next, I want to use my favorite stencil currently, which you see in a lot of my videos. It's again this one from Studio Light. It's a grunge mask and the number is SLGR Mask 16. In case you want to look for that. This is one I received at the Art Journal Festival as well, so I feel like it's the perfect place to use it. And I'm going to use my Distressed Oxide spray in Fossilized Amber, which comes out as a beautiful gold. And I'm of course going to add that on top here so that I have a yellow triangle. And because this is such a strong yellow, I think I want to add some of that as well with my Neon Color 2 wax pastels. Maybe I'll just scribble some here. That is very similar. Maybe that's the exact same thing that Sonal was using. Who knows? Yep, I like that. Do we maybe need it up here as well? Going back to the gold foil, just looking at this image and I see she has some earrings and I kind of want to replace those earrings with gold earrings. And I found these thinlits from Sizzix. They are the number 661806 and they have all these fun shapes. And I'm thinking of these leaves. Maybe I can put two on top of each other to make earrings. I don't have a lot of space to play with, but I'll see how much I can get out of these foils. Okay, Okay, I have 2 bigger leaves and 2 smaller leaves. I've actually never tried foil on my die cut machine, but why not? So let's try to add these as earrings. Maybe let me get you a little closer. I like it. I want this page to be something like a signature page from me, you know, where I use the things that I feel like are so me, which are exactly these colors. It's the blue, it's this warm yellow, it's gold, especially the gold foil. So I think that represents me very well. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. I'm also thinking of adding something else to her hair, like maybe some other flowers. Now I know we need to keep in mind not to be too bulky. But I found these flowers and they are quite flat, so I would feel okay using these. Let's see how many. Oh, there's different kinds. That's a bit much. How about these, or maybe 2 of the same is better. I like that. I don't think I want to keep them white. They're kind of standing out too much for me. So I'm going to color these. I'm going to take watercolors. I'm going to use my white knights. And I want to use this beautiful turquoise here. So that will then not stand out so much. So as I was drying these with my heat gun, of course the pearls melted. But it's okay because I didn't like those anyway. So now, of course, we need to put something else in the middle of the flowers. But I think they go there quite well. They are subtle, but they definitely add another dimension or texture. Hey, I almost forgot about the prompt. We need to add texture. So that could be our texture if I don't want to add anything else. So let me take my little dish of goodies and hunt for 2 small golden sequins. I mean, pearls would be nice too, but that's gonna be too bulky then. So let's stick to the sequins. And I'm wondering if I should edge the flower petals. I'm going to try my Inca Gold Fast Drying Metal Gloss Paint. Let's see if that works. I'm going to try applying that with a brush. I've never tried that before. Usually I use my fingers. This has hardened quite a bit. Might not work with the brush, but it's not a wax, so it doesn't, in theory, need the warmth of the fingers to soften. Okay, that is quite difficult to edge, but we can at least add some gold, you know, just in some areas. Oh no, we don't want it on the photo. Hang on. Not a good idea to do that over the photo, Barbara. Basically, I just want to distress and add some more interest to this flower. Like that. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and I think it's quite cute. But I might do something completely different, actually. I just saw this one here. So this was the second one that I printed at the print shop, and it's so gorgeous. And I also have the messed up version from my failed jelly plate printing. So on top here, I have some of this raw umber. And I actually think it looks super cool. And I kind of like having her here, but of course this is too big. So I want to see what it would look like if I just cut around her figure and the headdress, at least part of it, and then see what she would look like on this page, because somehow I'm liking her better now. So this is what she looks like cut out. And I actually like that, but I do want to add some more color behind it. I do have this other piece of a napkin ply with a jelly print on it. What if I just tear a shape out of that and put her on top of that? Let's see what that would look like. I mean, I could also just use this image. Of course, we would see her a lot better. But I do also love this distressed look here. I think I like this one better. Okay, so I'll tear a piece here. I like that a lot. So I'm going to put this on again with my matte gel. If it doesn't feel right, you need to go a different direction. I mean, the other photo is cute, but somehow now with the additions I made, I think the flowers kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say ruined it, but it makes it look too girly for what I want to create. Create today. It's okay, I think she's covering that part anyway. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do girly. I want a little more distressed, grungy, sophisticated. Now I'm looking at this again, and I have a feeling she would look fabulous on top of this. Oh, she really stands out nicely. Okay, let me tear this down a bit and see if we can add this as well. This time I'm going to use my tearing ruler. This looks like it's for a wedding, actually, because of these signs. Could be wrong, obviously. That's a beautiful pop of color, isn't it? I'm still missing texture. So I could obviously just use a stencil and add some texture paste through the stencil. That would be my texture. But I want to try something different. I have this beautiful box here. And inside I have all kinds of bits from books that I've taken apart. So these are the spines. These are where the pages were glued onto the spine. These are some parts of covers and stuff. So I like keeping these for collages. And maybe I can take something from here that would work in our collage. For example, something like this. And some of these pieces I already stitched as well. They are ready to go for a collage, but I don't think that's going to work for this one. This, of course, would be cool because that has that still on it, which is a lot of added texture. Maybe on this side. I think I'm happy with that as a texture piece. I've glued everything down with my gel medium, and I want to add a quote because she looks so much like a warrior. I know she's kind of hard to see in the camera, but to me she looks like a warrior, and so I want to add "the spirit of a warrior resides within you." I'm going to use my vintage typewriter and a used tea bag to type that on. I've actually never done that before, so I hope it works. I don't know how to do a backspace. That's the opposite direction. Should we try it anyway? Oh, yes, okay. I'm going to add that up here because I don't have a lot of space where there's no font behind it. So I want to be able to read this. It's easy to read. And now I just need to put the date and sign it. And that's my contribution to Junk Journal July and this art journal collaboration. Hopefully you got some inspiration for your own journal. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!